Hey guys, it's Sheila from One Pretty Little Box. I know it's been a couple days. You guys are gonna have to, sorry, I'm gonna have to move this tripod a little bit. You guys are gonna have to forgive me. Life happens. And life happens. I think we all kind of go through things. Sometimes some things are difficult and some are easy. Some are fun to share and some are not so fun. Today's video is a little bit different. Oh my gosh, sorry. As you guys know, yesterday the last video, I told you guys that I was working on a different YouTube channel, right? And this video I would have done, sorry, I was reading a little message. This video I would have done, and put on that channel. It wouldn't have put it on this one because I told you this one was for the vlogs, the grocery hauls, the daily little things that I like to share. This one's pretty deep. This is something that I would put on the encouragement coach because it's an area that we all face. It's an area in our lives that we go through from time to time, maybe not so often. And when we do, it's kind of big. Hold on, I've got to remove this because it's, there you go, because it's a distraction. I know, sorry about that. And the topic I'm going to talk about is kind of tough. As you see, I do have kind of bags under my eyes. I have not slept well this week. Kind of gone through something personal. Not really going to share a lot of that because it doesn't matter. It's being solved. It's being taken care of. But these things, I believe, happen so that I can process them. And in the way that I process them, a lot of times, is through a blog post. I've blogged for years, and that, I told many, many people, was my form of therapy. I don't go to a therapist. I blog, and now I vlog. I share kind of things with you guys. And so the things that I'm going to share with you, most times, they stem from a personal background. And then as I process them, I kind of expand and grow, and I'm shown so many little things that most of us don't even see. I don't know if I'd call it a gift. Some people do. Some people would. And I know that because not everyone does it. I guess I do have a gift of discernment and processing in a way to share to help you guys. So this video is that. It's exactly what it is. And it's when sorry isn't enough. The last couple years in my preschool classroom, we began to notice a pattern. You know, we teach children all the time when they hurt somebody or they make a mistake, they need to say, I'm sorry. Go up to so-and-so and tell them you're sorry. Make it right. But the problem is we don't teach them how to make it right. I can tell you last year was a big year for me. I taught the kids in my class conflict resolution. And if 3- and 4-year-olds can learn conflict resolution, 34-year-olds and 24-year-olds and 44-year-olds and 54-year-olds should be able to do the same thing. Right? If a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old can grasp it, anybody older than them should be able to grasp it too. But we're not taught these things. And that's kind of where I'm going to start is, we teach these kids to say, I'm sorry, but we don't teach the person who's being told who was offended, hurt, whatever. We don't teach them the right words to say. I kept hearing over and over with these kids, somebody, we'd say, you really need to go apologize to Tim. You really need to go apologize to John because you hurt him. You hurt his feelings. So Tim goes over to John and says, John, I'm sorry. And John says, it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. And so what we would teach the kids is you would tell them, it's not okay. You're not allowed to do that to me. I accept your apology and I'll forgive you, but don't do it to me again. And you can hear the kids in my class, even now, they're grasping it. We start at the beginning of the year. Here we are, January. We've been in class almost 6 months. well, 4 months and a couple weeks. Feels like 6. Really, it does. Ask any teacher. That's why we were all ready for Christmas break and nobody was ready to go back. But they're now getting it, and they'll say, don't do it to me again. Or they'll say, you know, when someone apologizes, they'll say, I forgive you, but I don't like it when you do that. I'm sorry. When someone says, I'm sorry, it doesn't make the behavior okay. And when John would tell Tim, it's okay, he's telling him, hey, it's okay. It's all right. You can do that to me all you want to. I'm just going to tell you it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. If someone hurts you, it's not okay. Should you forgive them? Yes. I'll get into that in a little bit. Yes, you should forgive them. But it's not okay for them to keep doing the same thing. And if you say it's okay, then that's giving them permission to continue to treat you that way. You want them to continue to treat you that way, then say okay. But 9 times out of 10, you don't. Or you wouldn't have got hurt or offended. I'm sorry doesn't prevent it from happening again. If you say okay and you accept it and you accept that behavior, you're welcoming that back in. So when the person says, I'm sorry, it doesn't prevent it from happening again. But if the person on the flip side, say John said, hey Tim, I don't like it when you punch me in the face. Instead of him saying, okay, it's okay. It's not okay. Don't punch me in my face. You know? I'm going to kind of read part of this just because I sat down today during nap time. Because this really has been working deep in my spirit, and I knew I had to share it with you guys today. It said, forgiveness is biblical and yes, even practical. Unforgiveness brings bitterness, strife, anger, and can lead to a whole multitude of things that can destroy a person from all the way from murder, drug use, divorce, infidelity, self-harm, and so much more. When we don't give that forgiveness, we hurt ourselves. Go back to what I just said. Just because you forgive someone doesn't mean it's okay. It means you're going to show them grace. You're going to say, all right, this person's human. I'll forgive them, but I won't accept the behavior again. Don't do that to me again. Now you're teaching yourself, if it's you, or your child, if it's them, to say, I forgive you. You hurt me, and you hurt me badly, and I will not let you do it to me again. Oh, there's so much these kids are going through. And if we don't give them the speech and give them the know-how and teach them how to get through things early, they're never going to make it as an adult. And right now, it's bad. There's enough adults who think they're entitled to the world, don't have to earn their way, and yet don't say I'm sorry, and don't change their behavior when they do. Y'all know someone. Right now, you're thinking of someone as an adult who's like that. Some of you might be thinking of children and teenagers you know that are like that. It says forgiving someone does not mean you are giving them permission to continue whatever it was. It does, however, give you a chance at peace. It also does require you not to hang it over that person's head. That's what grace is. No matter what, one, you should forgive for your own peace, not for that person. You forgive them. You give them the grace, you extend the grace, and you forget it. You forgive them. I'm not telling you to forget it. Time can do that if that happens. I have found if I work through it emotionally, and I get to the point that I can do the forgiveness and I can say, hey, I forgive you. Don't do it to me again. Now let's move on. By then, it's done. It's over. I've extended the grace so that I can walk away at the end of the day and have peace. That at least I wasn't a wench and said, I don't forgive you and don't talk to me again, because it doesn't resolve anything. All that does is cause that person a lot of harm, and it causes you a lot of harm. It hinders you from receiving greatness from the world. It hinders you from seeing greatness in other relationships in your life. And it hinders you from having greatness in a relationship with yourself. Because it will always be there. Extending grace doesn't mean you're weak. If anything, it means you're the strongest person you probably know right now. Every relationship that you have in your life requires forgiveness at one point or another. From people involved. From both people involved. A husband and a wife. We're both going to need forgiveness from one another at one point. A sibling, a sister and a brother, or a brother and a brother, or a sister and a sister. There's going to need to be forgiveness somewhere. A parent and a child. There's going to need to be forgiveness somewhere. An employer to an employee. A neighbor to a stranger. Thankfully, I know my neighbors. Some know me too well. They could probably tell you some stories. But it's the same thing. It's a relationship. And there are times that, so sorry, you have to look at my weeds. I just hadn't had time. Or want to. Or sweat. If you're my neighbor, I'm sorry for my weeds. I'll get to them, I promise. So everyone needs forgiveness. Everyone needs to extend it. And eventually, we're going to have to ask for it. It is okay to say, I forgive you. But I don't like it when, in which we talked about that at the beginning. You guys, there's a whole bunch more, as you see, I wrote, and there's tons. It's going to be a good blog post. So I'll post a link below. You'll see it. Go read the rest of the blog. I just wanted to come on and tell you that you're worth everything it is to catch that gratitude. The gratitude. Do you know that gratitude comes from forgiveness? It comes from many places, and we can find gratitude in every situation, even the ones that hurt. And please understand that we all process differently. As I was writing out this thing, I first thought it was a gender issue. You know, men tend to process things through wisdom, through their mind, and women tend to process things through their heart and through their emotions. At least that's true in my home, me. And to process through a lot of emotions takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of focus. Being distracted is great because it takes you away from it, right? Being distracted at your job or whatever you might have to do around your house, that's wonderful. It just hinders the process. It hinders it a lot. I myself am very deeply, I get deeply wounded by the people that are closest to me, just as you probably do. If some Sally on the street that I don't know decides to tell me, I don't like your hair, whatever, I don't care. If my dearest friend said, I don't like your hair, I'm hurt. And I know that some of you are just laughing at me probably, but I care. I do care. I care about those close to me. I care about what they think. I care about how they feel. I care about how our conversations are going in our relationship. And if it's not right, I'm going to try to make it right. Or try to find out what's wrong so that I can fix it. Forgiveness is so important, guys. And I'm going to say this because it needs to be said. You need to look deep within. If there is somebody that you need to forgive that is alive, talk to them today. Send them an email. Write them a letter. Put it in the mailbox. If you have offended somebody and you need to ask for forgiveness, do it now. There might be a time when you never can. If you need to offer and extend grace and extend forgiveness, don't put it off. Do it now. Not only for you, but for someone else too. Even if you have to end that relationship. That's one thing I didn't share. If, you know, sometimes in a relationship, you've got to decide, look, is this toxic? Is this helping me be a healthy me? And by healthy, I don't mean outwardly. I mean inwardly. Because until you are inwardly healthy, you'll never be outwardly healthy. You might look that way. But 9 times out of 10, it's stress that's making you lose weight, not anything else. Sometimes we have to end relationships with people. Doesn't mean you don't forgive them. You forgive them and then you move on. And it's okay. I've had some toxic relationships I've released in the last couple years. I'm a healthier, happier person. And when things arise so deeply in relationships that matter to me, I can focus on them and I can find the strength and the courage to forgive, to extend grace, to forgive. And when I forgive completely. I don't hold it over their head. And I'll tell you, because I processed it and went through all that in my emotions, in my mind, in my heart, and I really dug deep, I also forget it. I don't hold on to it. I might not forget it immediately. It might still hurt even after I've extended forgiveness and grace. It might still hurt my feelings and my heart. But once I've processed it and got over those emotions, I'm done. I'm done with it. And I can move on. And if you ask me a year from now, hey, what was that video on you did? I probably won't be able to tell you. Because true forgiveness eventually does help you forget. If anything, it builds you strength and courage to let things go and grow from them. If anything, sometimes it's a stepping stone in your testimony of greatness that you get to share with other people. I look on this day and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for forgiveness and for grace that's been extended to me when I needed it. And I'm thankful that I've learned that lesson of grace and forgiveness and what it really means. It doesn't mean do it to me again. But it does mean I can extend and I forgive you and let's move forward. Thank you guys for stopping by. And remember, I'm sorry doesn't help. I'm sorry, yes, it's the beginning of forgiveness, but it doesn't fix the problem. The words I'm sorry will not put a broken plate together. The words I'm sorry doesn't put a broken heart together either. Action, grace, and understanding do. It is Friday. You guys have a great weekend. Remember what I said. If you need to offer forgiveness or you need to ask for forgiveness, do it today. Don't put it off. I challenge you. If you've been going through issues and needing to understand more on forgiveness or how to move forward, leave a comment below. Send me a message here on Facebook. Shoot me an email. All that's in the description box below. And know that I'm thinking of you. I love you. Talk to you later.